Welcome
to Even Odds. I'm Carly.
I'm Matt.
And this is Warhammer Wednesdays.
All right. So today we are going to do a battle report. It's finally happening. So we have our
We did one before.
Yeah, well, you know, point is we got
another one.
Our duders painted up to a point that we're comfortable.
Sort of.
There's still work to be done on them as everything.
It's a work in progress, but we got some color. We got some going. I mean, yours look really cool, actually.
Yeah, I still got to do some detail work on them, but so we're at a point. There's still basing to be done. Yeah. The final stage.
Yeah, exactly.
The final frontier. But
long story short, the Mech and the Genestealer cult are going at it.
Yeah.
I mean,
all right. So we're playing the forces from the Kill Team starter set. We're playing the mission Take prisoners. Yeah. So let's just go over really quick the kill teams for the Genestealer cults. We've got a 10-man neophyte hybrid squad. We've got Davin Kaiser and Foil Carleone. They're rocking some auto guns, auto pistols, and blasting charges. We've got Xandis Rezik and Simon Helm. They're rocking shotguns, auto pistols, and blasting charges. We've got Jakobiaj Zyben, a gunner who's got a seismic cannon, auto pistol, and blasting charge. Yorick Kavorla, a gunner with a grenade launcher, auto pistol, and blasting charge. Everybody's got auto pistol and blasting charge. That's the point. Anyway, Rouse Cypher, a gunner with a flamer. He's also the demolitions expert, and he's got predatory instincts as his demeanor. We've got Bask Thrace, our medic, and he is a born survivor. Bask Thrace, born survivor. And Jude Undergast, our heavy specialist. He's a marker of the dead. And all of this is led off by Jorl Kraus.
I thought Jorl Kraus was the born survivor.
No, Bask Thrace is the born survivor.
Right.
Jorl Kraus has a strange twitching.
Team Admech, we have Dorox, Vanguard leader. I've got Sek, the Plasma Caliber Vanguard gunner R99, another Vanguard with a radium carbine, who is my scout. Actus, who is another Vanguard. Moo, another Vanguard. And then my Rangers. Decima, who is my, not my gunner. Anyway, Decima. Decima. I've got Tav, my gunner. There we go. I've got Kapik, who's my comms guy. Our Lady, or whatever they are. Zizos, my Ranger, and Griffon.
Reductus, even.
Griffon Reductus.
There you go.
Right.
So those
teams, Admech,
and Genestealer cults. So yeah, that's the teams. The mission is take prisoners. We're doing it live, so stay tuned.
It's not live.
All right, here we are. The forces of Jorl Kraus and his Genestealer cults arrayed in this abandoned, or seemingly so, warehouse district of a imperial forgeworld, and the Adeptus Mechanicus defending what seems to be a rather large crate.
A box.
A box. What's in the box? Potentially of bodies of future converts to the Mechanicum, and the Genestealers.
Very wrong.
Oh, it did indeed. And the Genestealers here looking to take those bodies back to infect them with the gene seed of the Tyranids.
The gene seed, huh?
Yeah.
Not really, yeah.
So here we go. We're playing Take Prisoners. That's our mission. That's our deployment.
So we play Take No Prisoners?
Here's the deployment map.
No, I'm just kidding.
All right. So we're gonna resolve our cult ambush and come back at the initiative phase. All right, so here we are, just about to enter the initiative phase. After rolling for cult ambush, only Jorl Kraus, the intrepid leader of the Genestealer cults, was daring enough to move forward. All right, before we roll off for initiative, what's the canticle of the Omnissiah for our AdMech?
It's hard to turn down Shroud Psalm at this point in the game because there's no time like the present when it comes to obstructions.
So there it is, Shroud Psalm. So let's go right into it. We'll roll off for our
obstructed ones, rather.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll off for our initiative. So I roll a 7, Carly rolls an 8. So AdMech have the initiative this round. We'll go into battle round 1. We'll come back at the end of the movement phase. All right, here we are at the end of the movement phase. The forces of the Genestealer cults have moved up, some into cover, some aggressively eyeing down the AdMech, and Jorl Kraus leading a valiant charge into Mu to take him out, hopefully to take our very first prisoner. The Adeptus Mechanicus have moved forward, some readying their guns to unleash a punishing fusillade into the Genestealer cults. Meanwhile, their leader, Dorax 434, cowers behind.
He's protecting the bodies, man.
Is that what he's doing? He's protecting?
The bodies.
He's not cowering?
He's not cowering.
I don't know. You tell us, viewers, is he cowering or is he protecting the bodies? We're going to go into the shooting phase, and we'll be back in just a moment. All right, so it's the end of the shooting phase, and you'll notice a distinct lack of Genestealers on this side of the board, as the Adeptus Mechanicus open-fired and just completely obliterated this side of the field. Jorl Kraus, with his strange twitching, proved what that twitching was for, using his acidic spit, but it was no effect to the galvanized steel that is
Mu.
the AdMech Mu. We'll be moving in to the fighting phase in just a moment. We'll be right back. There's really only the one fight to resolve. All right, so we've resolved the fight phase, and you'll notice that Mu is no longer. He's been taken out of action by the leader, Jorl Kraus, and his power pick. So now we would move into the morale phase, yet checking our armies here, there's no morale to take, so we'll just be moving straight into round 2. So starting round 2, what's your canticle?
All right, Invocation of Machine Might. So I'm adding 1 to the strength characteristics of my models.
Okay, great. So we'll go into initiative phase. We'll roll off to see who has initiative this round. I roll a 4. Carly rolls a 6. So once again, the Adeptus Mechanicus have the initiative. The movement phase is done. The forces of the AdMech have moved up further, trying to secure the center of the factory district. Meanwhile, Dorox, still cowering in his corner.
Protecting the bodies.
Protecting the bodies, I mean, that's what I said. Cowering. A bold move from Decima, charging in to Jorl Kraus after seeing the absolute decimation that he caused to Mu.
No.
And then, who is this gentleman again that he's about to meet his demise?
That's Griffon.
No, Zizos, isn't it?
Zizos.
Is it Zizos? Zizos attempted to charge, failed, and was met with 3 counter charges of the clustered Genestealers. Meanwhile, the rest moving up to support. Not going to be much of a shooting phase, but we'll come back after the shooting and fighting phase. We'll see how it goes. So here we are at the end of the fight phase. The shooting phase was extremely brief. You might even say that no shots were fired. Everything was in combat or out of line of sight. Jorl Kraus using his ability to decisively strike, has once again torn asunder a unit of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Decima has been decimated. On this side of the battlefield, Zizos fought valiantly, suffered a flesh wound, caused nothing in return, but did survive the absolute pummeling that was the 3 Genestealers ganging up on Zizos. We've rolled. Zizos did take a flesh wound, but Zizos stands firm. He won't.
Zizos has resolve.
He has resolve indeed. So that's round 2. Currently, the score is Genestealer cults 2 to Admech 0, but the Admech are about to make their move. So we'll go into round 3, starting with the initiative phase, but before that, Carly, what's your canticle this round?
I'm going to go ahead and use the chant of the remorseless fist. I'm going to re-roll hit rolls of 1.
All right, so chant of the remorseless fist.
Or wait.
Oh.
Yeah, in the fight phase.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm counting on getting into battle here.
So chant of the remorseless fist for the Admech. We'll see how it plays out. We'll go to the initiative phase, where we'll roll off. Oh,
it's a
tie. So we'll roll off again. Aha! The Genestealer cults steal the initiative. They'll be going first this round. We'll come back at the end of the movement phase. It's the end of the movement phase. Not a lot of movement has happened. A lot of charges, some successful, some not. We're still embroiled in this combat. Over here we've got a new member joining the fray from both sides. A long bomb charge made by the Admech to move in to fight. And then quite a number of charges failed here, but taking the movement anyway. And sadly also, Jorl Kraus failing a charge after a valiant retreat made by the Admech. Once again, not really any shooting to speak of, since everyone has charged or failed. We do have one readied model of the Genestealer cults. We'll check his line of sight and we'll be back at the end of the fight phase. So after a brief shooting phase, the heavy specialist Jude Undergast failed to wound, and the Admech and Genestealer cult brawl here continued on with no wounds being dealt all around. So we'll be moving into turn 3, or 4. This is round 4. We'll be moving into round 4. Carly, what will your canticle be?
My canticle for this round 4 is going to be the Litany of the Electromancer.
Litany of the Electromancer. Perfect. Well, so that changed things a wee bit there. So we'll go into round 4 here, the final round. Now we know the mission says variable 5 and 6, but you know, we're just doing just 4, you know. So we'll roll off.
Stuffed up, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah. So we'll roll off our initiative phase for the final round here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, whoops, sorry.
Okay. So a 4 and a 2 is 6, a 5 and a 2 is 7. So the Genestealer cults have the initiative for the final round of the game. Mm-hmm. We've got a storm brewing right here, and will Jorl Kraus steal his last kill of the game? Find out. Coming up next. So here we are at the end of the movement phase. The forces of the Admech have descended to save Zizos and pull him out from the bloody fight happening. And while Jorl Kraus successfully made his charge, 2 supporting members of the Admech continued in and charged him back. It's going to be a bloody battle, and still Dorox cowers before the might of the Genestealer cults.
The bodies.
Just really quick, at the start of the fight, or at the start of the shooting phase, I'll spend a command point for Yorl Kraus to once again try to acidic spit, we'll say here, onto Tov. Oh! We've made it. So acidic spit, use this tactic at the beginning of the shooting phase, pick an enemy model within an inch. On a 5-up, the enemy model suffers a mortal wound. I've rolled a 6, so Tov suffers a mortal wound. We'll roll the injury roll. A 2, just a flesh wound. Just a flesh wound on old Tov, if you'll put that on there. So we'll resolve our fight phase and we'll come back in just a moment. All right. After an interesting fighting phase, Yorl Kraus has once again claimed another victim, taking out Tov in bloody combat. The other two, Adeptus Mechanicus here, did deal a flesh wound to Yorl Kraus, but thankfully enough. Only a flesh wound, not taking him out of action. Over on this side, the slapfest continued. All the members of the Genestealer cults managed to deal one flesh wound to the Adeptus Mechanicus, and the Adeptus Mechanicus managed to deal one flesh wound to the Genestealer cults, thus bringing an end.
They didn't eat their calorie mates this morning.
They did not. In fact, they did not eat their calorie mates. That brings us to the end of round 4 and the end of the game. Final score: the Genestealer cults took 3 prisoners. The Admech took 1 prisoner, thus making the final points 3-1. There we go. We'll talk about it in the wrap-up.
All right. All right, so end of
take
game.
prisoners game there, yeah. So we know that the mission
I think
is.
the Admech just got a little shoot happy.
Yeah,
I
they
was
took
counting on reducing your numbers and then charging in, and they just the numbers didn't.
Yeah, well, you got yourself a little out of position with the with the shooting because of that.
I had all those charges that were like 3 4 inches.
Oh yeah,
so
that was a
that's the
horrible.
thing. I would have had a whole extra round of
fighting.
pounding.
Yeah, but it was a really poor series of rolls. Yorl Kraus, though, absolute beast.
Born survivor.
Well, he's got a strange twitching.
No, wait, that's your leader, right?
That Bask Thrace is my born survivor.
Did I kill Bask Thrace?
No,
again?
wait, yes,
survivor.
no, maybe you did. Yes, Bask Thrace. Yeah. Bask Thrace was taken out of action. He's a born survivor though, so he'll be back. But it's interesting. Yorl Kraus did some work there. He actually took each of the 3 models I had. He's a one-man army, basically.
Just doing it.
Acidic Spit did not pay off though.
That seems like a cool tactic, though.
Yeah.
I liked that tactic.
Well, I really like I like the flavor of it. That the Genestealers are these mutated half tyrannid kind of dudes, and so this guy's literally just developing this acidity gland and just so it's really cool. But so I suppose
I like the canticles that I have that are just part of the Admech in general. I'm still getting a little bit trying to feel out the tactics that I have specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, but yeah,
it's all a learning process.
There you go.
But so it seems like this time the Genestealer cults got the best of the Admech and those
in the prisoner realm. I mean,
that's what I was going to say.
Outside of the mission, I still demolished.
Oh, sure, yeah. But it seems like in the take prisoners realm, the Admech lost a few soldiers today.
But Dorox did an excellent job protecting the bodies.
Cowering is what Dorox did.
Very No.
Well, yeah. So the Genestealers might not have gotten all those tasty human slaves to join the cult, but they did take a few Admech.
A few of the blue coats, if you will.
Yeah. So there you have it. We'll see what happens next time when these two forces clash, and
maybe we'll meet up in a different warehouse.
Yeah, for a different goal. All right. Well, if you liked what you saw here, give us a like and let us know in the comments what you liked. If you've got any feedback,
we should be doing better.
Yeah, if there's something you want to see, let us know. Currently, we have our kill teams are unnamed. So maybe hit us up in the comments with some naming ideas, and we'll see what happens. Cool. And of course, if you want to see new videos every Wednesday for Warhammer Wednesdays and Friday for Tabletop Gameplay Fridays, subscribe
and come back.
Absolutely.
See us.
So see you in the next one, okay?
All right. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Not really, but
be a super cool guy.
I'm doing my pre-workout, my pre-Warhammer workout.
Gotta stay loose. Gotta stay limber.
I mean, I gotta go punching. I'm not punching. I gotta go shooting.